Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this midweek edition, of course, of Wake Up Call. If you don't already know by now, my name is Craig Laird, and I'm actually on this side for just this show. Ben's going to be taking over for the remaining of the day, but this is Wake Up Call, as I am saying, and we're going to dive straight in, and I'm going to tell you, you need to get across onto our website. It's the end of our summer sale. Why am I telling you this again, like I have been doing every other show? That is because new things are being added on a daily basis. Many things are also being taken off, and that's because you've sold them out. But head across onto our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.au. Check out that end of the summer sale, up to 70% off some items that has been as low as £1 or $1. So always check that one out. Have a little peruse at the website while you are there. But I'm not on my own for this show. On this show here, we were actually meant to be together on my very first day back here, and then we got some little changes. But we are now eventually together. We got a great big hug when I came in, or when you came in. I was first. Of course, it's Debbie. Debbie's back.
Yeah, it feels like ages since I've been last up here, so it's lovely to be back, and even more so that I'm working with you today.
I know, it's so good.
We were texting each other, weren't we? We all can't wait to see each other on face, and then all of a sudden it all got changed. We're like,
that's it.
Gutted.
Yeah.
But we are back. We have got a cracker lined up today.
We do, don't we?
We really do, because we've got some amazing products that literally flew out of the door when they first launched. But we've got a craft along coming up at 2 p.m. later on today. I'll show you the craft along project later, but it's all about Halloween. So we're going to be showcasing the Halloween collection. Me and Craig we've just been oohing and ahhing over these couple of beautiful samples that one of our fabulous design team members have done for us. But it's all about the Halloween collection. I'm going to do a little take on this one. I fell in love with this one that Debbie did. Just beautiful. I'll lower that down so you can see that. Which camera am I going into, George? It's been a while. It's been a while, so I can't remember. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous samples, and some amazing designs. And I actually thought this was a Craig design. I said to Craig, I love your card. And he went, that's not me, Debbie. I didn't do that one. But isn't that fabulous? Absolutely gorgeous. I think what we said basically is it's a great collection. And although we don't have the original box, we do have some smaller bundles for you to be able to craft along with us, and also get hold of it while you can before these actually go. Absolutely. This is probably going to be one of the last opportunities to get hold of it. And talking of last opportunities, and I can't believe I'm saying this, because did this just launch yesterday? It just launched yesterday. Absolutely. And it's, again, as you said, it's not going to last long. It's got its wings and flown. And it's literally. It's got its wings and flown. About the gorgeous Angel collection, it really is beautiful. What's wrong? 60% of the stock's gone. Gone already? Yep. Oh my goodness me, is all I'm going to say. Just launched yesterday and 60% has gone. Yep. Right, so I think, it's going to be one of those that if you love it, don't wait, don't hang around. You saw how fast the Halloween one went. Please don't hang around. If it's something that literally is, and it really is a beautiful, beautiful collection, Craig. All really about the angels, those feathers, everything, the meaning behind them as well. And if you didn't catch that show yesterday with Sarah, we're going to do a little bit more of this today for you. But again, those papers are beautiful. Please tell me, Johnny, we've got the papers left. Only in the bundle. My goodness me, you guys must have absolutely loved this collection. I love this one with the use of real feathers in there. Isn't it really lovely? Isn't that just beautiful? It's absolutely gorgeous. But again, everything I think with this one, I think whether you're wanting to just send to somebody for whatever occasion, I think it covers an absolute ton of different occasions. I think that paper's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, we're going to be tickling your fancy with those things today, and I can't wait, Craig, because it's going to be a really good one. It is. It really, really is. Going with that Halloween one as well, I'm just going to ask Johnny, can you remember the date that it launched when it comes to the Halloween box? It was a Monday with me, wasn't it? Well, the reason I was asking that is because if you go back, we'll get that date confirmed just shortly, but if you go back onto your Facebook page, was it a night or two before? The night before. Night before. Yeah, the night before. You done a lengthy Facebook Live for the box as well, where you can get more of ideas and inspirations and that, wasn't there? Yeah, absolutely. So if you go back on Debbie's Facebook page, you'll be able to see that.
So it launched on the 15th of August. So we're going to say around about the 14th of August.
14th of August, I did my Facebook Live on the 14th, and then the 15th, yes, we did the full day with it, and absolutely, I mean, I had crammed as many demonstrations as I could in that day, because I knew with the popularity of that gorgeous collection just how fabulous you were loving it, we loved it, and we still have, not the box, but we do have an alternative for you, which Craig's going to show you right now.
Absolutely, yes. So as Debbie just said there, a little option that you can go for if you so want when it comes to the Halloween collection. So let's have a look at it just in a wee moment or two, where what we're going to do actually, we're going to jump forward just briefly. We're going to give you the details of the Angel collection, because this is so busy. We do not want you to then, of course, miss your opportunity. So this one here is the Angel collection. This one is where you're only going to be able to get the 12 by 12 paper pad in this configuration. So this is the Angel collection, complete collection. This is where you're going to get your paper pad, embossing folders, 14 dies, 27 stamps and more. And let me tell you, it should say and more. And more, and more. Today's price for every single one, if you are not in Club Inspire, is $94.99 or $119.95. It only launched less than 24 hours ago. Incredible saving off the bat. However, if you are Platinum, that is going to come down to $75.99 or $95.96 for that complete, and at the moment, it's complete Angel collection, including that 12 by 12 paper pad. So there is from the Angel collection that we're going to have a look to, well, Halloween. We're then going to have a look at our Happy Halloween collection. 24 elements, including stamps, dies, and stencils. So this is where you are also going to be getting the 6x6 paper pad. What I do want to say, for everything that I'm away to show you, $34.96 or $44.80 for the collection. I don't think many of you will do this. In my opinion, you're crazy if you do what I'm away to say. They are available individually for the first time ever if you wanted to. Check out the price on the screen and have a look at what I'm away to show you. You're only going to get the paper pad with the bundle, just to make that clear, but have a look in this one here. This is everything you're going to get. So it's been changed, breaking news. So you're going to get everything that I'm away to show you. We'll go through it in a little bit more detail in a moment. Everything. If you just want the paper pad, breaking news, the paper pad, 6x6 paper pad, is available on its own. £4.99 or $6.95. Debbie, under £4 for a 6x6 Halloween paper pad in Club Inspire.
And this paper pad is exactly all the same designs that was in the original Halloween box. Just in a 6x6, still double-sided, but a lot more. Can I just say, there's a lot more papers in this. And it's, I can't get over that price. Even look at the platinum price, Craig, $3.99 for a pad of this quality with the gorgeous designs that are all Halloween based. There's some amazing ones in there, Craig. They're absolutely beautiful.
So many of them, you know, they're all double-sided, you know, but so many of them, you break them down. That could be little toppers on your smaller cards, you know, your 4x6, you know, 5x5, 4x4 even, DL cards, slimlines if you want. But look at these ones there, cut them down into borders if you want to. If it go further on back, you can see that you've got a really nice 6x6 page that would do really well for a 6x6 memory book if you wanted to, with a photo in there, maybe with the kiddies, grandkiddies dressed up for Halloween. I mean, look at that one. That's one of my favourites there. It's like that kind of cascading down of all the Halloween elements. Same with the pumpkins here. Think then, if you're only going to go for the paper pad, think of your Autumn Blessings collection. Think of your autumn and Halloween papers that you've got within your paper library that's going to work an absolute treat. So you can get just the 6x6 paper pad on its own, 32 sheets, double-sided, £4.99, $6.95. If you are Platinum, however, it comes down to £3.99 or $5.56 for that full paper pad. So that I can envision, some of you are going to be popping that into your basket as an additional. But let's have a look at the actual collection here that you're going to get everything. £34.96 or $45.80. Platinum price is $27.97 or $36.64. You're going to be getting your stamps. You're also going to be getting your dies as well. You're also going to get your embossing folder and 5x7 stencil. So this is what you're going to get in here. So if I turn this one around, it's all nicely housed in that packaging as well. That does make a difference. Many of you will totally understand that. We've then also got within this one here, you've got stamps, you've got dies, you've got another 6x4 embossing folder and a 5x7 stencil here. That's enabling you to build up your pumpkins when it comes to the shading if you want to with your inks. Then on this one here, we've got more stamps and dies. They are completely different in each set. We've got a 6x4 embossing folder and a 5x7 stencil here, where you can then add on to that design work that's already done when it comes to your 6x6 paper pad. You can use them all totally and completely individually if you wanted to. However, they do all work perfectly together. Different designs in each set. You can get all 4 items here in that collection on the screen, where you're going to get your Happy Halloween collection. 24 elements, including stamps, dies and stencils, £34.96. $45.80. That is the price for that whole collection there, $27.97 platinum or $36.64 for all of those. Maybe you've got your collection beforehand, you've already got creative with it. Let us know what you've made. Maybe it's cards, maybe it's memory book pages, maybe you've then just done some bunting, whatever it is, let us know. We've got Taylor on the social for the start of Wake Up Call. Get your comments along the bottom there, YouTube or Facebook. Very quick morning to Cheryl. Kay is saying good morning from North Carolina. Alicia saying good morning from Arkansas, as Joe was saying. Just says, well, what you've put as well, absolutely, Alicia saying, prayers to everyone in the path of Hurricane Ian. I know across, obviously, that Florida side are being hit bad, so sending love and best wishes. Sandy Kelser is saying, good morning, CCTV team, fellow crafters from Florida's Treasure Coast. Praying the storm gentles before making landfall. Until then, take advantage of crafting as a distraction. Christine Mahoney, good morning, everyone. Sarah Brown is saying good evening to everyone. She's from Melbourne, Australia. And Ben Mosby on Facebook saying, good morning, everyone. Hello to you two, my favourite people in craft. Well, my 2 favourite people will be on later on, Debbie and Ben. He's going to be taking over the reins for the rest of today. We will be back together tomorrow evening for the last show. That's irrelevant at the moment. That's tomorrow. We're on now. Debbie, what have we got?
Well, I'm going to show you some amazing samples because literally we were talking about this prior to the show. We were saying how much we absolutely loved this collection. And it's not just myself and Craig, the whole team. There was a real buzz about this collection because you guys have been asking for this for a long time, and we listened and we finally brought one into our range, and I'm so pleased that you've loved it as much as we have. We're also aware that there are new crafters joining us all the time that haven't got hold of it. Well, now's your opportunity. But look at the amazing things that you can be making. I love these star cards, Craig, the lovely diorama ones where you can really build some scenes up. You can be making, honestly, literally anything you want, you can make with these. Be little trick or treat boxes that you could fill up with sweets and then hand these out when people come round trick or treating. Or, guys in.
Yeah, guys in.
I did see the clip, Craig. I did see the clip. It did make me laugh.
I think the world's seen that clip.
Especially the singing. I love the singing. This is one that I did on the launch show
Debbie,
where I showed
so
you how
cool.
to make it. I took some inspiration from one of our design teams where you could actually be doing this as well, Craig. So you could be filling this up with little sweets and then gift these to your trick-or-treaters on the night. Or it could be just a little gift for somebody that you know and love on Halloween. But lots of things. You can take it into other elements of your crafting. So this is one of our pop-up boxes that's been adapted to fit the Halloween style in there. And you've got all the characters that you can use to create this fabulous piece. But look, honestly, all of these, I just think, I want you to see, because I don't think we show as much as we could do when it comes to our fabulous design team. And they really do knock it out of the park, absolutely, each and every single time. One of my favourites was this one with a lovely invitation, because that's exactly what you could be doing. You could be making invitations as well. And I love the addition. Let me just put it up there so you can see it. The lovely little legs of the witch upside down. So lots of lovely ways that you can use. I'm actually going to show you my craft along project so you can get ahead of the game. Is that the right word I'm looking for? Where you can, let me just make sure I pop that over there. I've heard as well, Craig, we've got a guest.
Yeah.
I know.
We've got a guest as well.
It's just amazing.
Jane Wilson's going to be crafting along.
I haven't had a guest on a craft along for ages. So, Jane, I'm really looking forward to you joining us. And this is what we're going to be making. So, I love bay window cards. I think they're absolutely fabulous. And that's what we're going to be creating this afternoon at 2 p.m, where we're going to do some real-time crafting. I love one of my favourite papers there. Using the Halloween box. But again, if you haven't got the Halloween box, everything that I've used on here, you'll be able to take from the other collections as well. Again, that's what we're going to be creating this afternoon at 2 p.m. with our real-time craft along, where I will be reunited with my gorgeous Ben. So if you're watching Ben, big love, I haven't seen you for a while.
No, I'm just saying, you find that many at home don't always have a certain collection or that, but they like to craft along with you. And you could follow the concept that Debbie does, but bring in maybe one of the other ones. The craft along, that's going to be 2 o'clock here in the UK, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 6 a.m. Pacific Time. I believe the, as I call it, the shopping list is across on social. So head across there onto our social pages and you will see the list of everything Debbie's going to be using. Whether you choose to craft along exactly what she uses, mix it up, that's up to you, but it really is going to be one of the most anticipated craft alongs we've had for quite a while because it features Halloween, doesn't it, Debbie?
Oh yeah, and I can't wait, genuinely I can't wait, because it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Right, so shall I show you some other mitts that you can use with this? So I'm going to do a couple of with the Halloween this morning, but I am going to be using from the kits that we've got that are available that you can still get hold of, and these are literally jam-packed full of everything that was in the box, plus with the addition of having an embossing folder. Now, I don't want you worrying thinking, well, there's 3 embossing folders that are exactly the same. Doesn't matter. No. You can use them, you can elongate them, you can put through a piece of cardstock at the same time with 2 pieces, or you simply could gift those to your crafty friends if you wanted to. But you get an embossing folder in each one. You've got your stencils in here as well, so you've got the lovely stencil of the pumpkin where you can create the full pumpkin and also those scary faces. So good. You've got the set of stamps in here as well, and also the dies, which you've got the 2 spiders, the pumpkins, and then the big round fat pumpkin there as well. Turn that way so you can see it a little bit better. So I'm going to be using elements though from all 3. Now that's from the Pumpkins Galore craft kit. Say it slowly. Let me make sure I've got them the right way around so I know what I'm doing with this, Craig. Then we've got the Haunted House craft kit. So the Haunted House craft kit obviously speaks for itself. You've got your Count Dracula. It's
brilliant.
Love him. Absolutely love it. You've got sentiments in these as well. You've got dice. We've got the ghost, the the tombstone, and that haunted house. Again, you've got your embossing folder and then some more stencils in there to create some really nice scenes. So that's your haunted house one. Then you've got lastly that Wicked Witch craft kit. And again, I call it Wicked Witch, but this is the cutest. This is the cutest craft cat. Oh, sorry, the Halloween cat that I've ever seen. Is absolutely gorgeous. And then you've got your Happy Halloween on there as well. And lots of lovely elements from the black cat to the witch. Again, another embossing folder. And then your stencils as well. So if you're wondering about the die not having the broomstick, doesn't matter because on here you've got broomsticks to be able to create in the background so that you can sit on there as well. So there's lots of options. It's literally just absolutely jam-packed full of lots and lots of goodies. And of course, then you've got that fabulous paper pad, which for me, I can't believe we're doing it singularly.
It's funny you saying that though, Debbie, because it's on the bottom of the screen, but we've got Johnny and we've got George in the gallery. Johnny said, which I'm not surprised, that is so busy as a standalone. Some of you are popping in extra, maybe you got the original box, but what many of you are doing are going for this collection that Debbie's shown you and putting in an extra one. I'll be honest, hands up, I would be doing exactly the same on that one there. So yeah, as Debbie said and showed you there. really, really busy.
Absolutely. And can I just tell you, these spiders, Craig, we were saying this, they are so realistic.
They are, aren't they?
Honestly, all the way through the lawn show, every time one dropped on me out of the onto the front of here, I actually thought it was a real spider. I'm not kidding, and I'm not very good with little creepy crawlies.
No, I'm not.
You can imagine a few little screams and
Just
things like that. Yeah. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little play. I did say we were going to recreate one of a lovely design. I say recreate, I have my own little twist on it, but how you can create this lovely one that Debbie did for us on our design team. So I'm going to take a piece of black matte cardstock. This actually measures at 10 inches by 6 inches and I scored it at 5. Okay. So mine's going to be slightly bigger with this one, Craig. And I've taken one of the papers from that gorgeous paper pad and just trimmed it down to size, because what we're going to use in addition is our, do you know our stitched edge circle dies?
Oh yeah,
we're going to use some nesting dies to create that. And I'm going to use the largest of the two. I'll come back to that in a second though, how to create that card base, because what I'm going to do is get away with cutting some of these. Now all of these dies will fit through your mini, every single one of them, because that's what I was doing because I wanted multiples of them. But for now I'm going to use my large Gemini with my Gemini Junior plates to create this. So I'm just going to use some of our low tack tape to hold some of these down. I think I'll be able to get quite a few on this little bit of scrap black paper. Cardstock. Debbie, cardstock, not paper at all. And then just pop that into place. And I'll do my little tombstone. I'll have my little teeny weeny spider.
Did you ever go trick-or-treating or guysing?
I didn't go guysing, but yes, I definitely did some trick-or-treating in my time. Yes, I did. Last year we did it with, I did it with my granddaughter for the first time ever, because she's at an age now, and she was the cutest little, and if I remember rightly, was she a witch? Oh no, she wasn't. No. I mean, why did I ever think to question what she was? She was Spider-Man.
Awesome.
They all knew in my ear then, they knew what I was going to say. She was Spider-Man. So maybe not what they quite expected when they were knock on the little door and she stood there, trick or treat. But yeah, really, really good fun. But yeah, I used to do it when I was younger as well. I hear, by all accounts, Craig, you had a lot of fun when you were younger doing it.
I did indeed, yeah. Lots and lots of fun. I tended to be Dracula quite a lot.
Did you?
And the video that Ben's put out, which we were talking about live, when I said a dustpan, I should just say what I meant was black bags. My mum would cut up black bags, and wrap them round as the cape. You'd have the white face paint on, that fake blood dripping down. You look at some of the costumes nowadays when you go into the stores. I don't know about you, Debbie, but some of them you go in and you think, wow.
Yeah.
Whereas when I went guysing, it was makeshift do it your own.
Yes, it was. Black sacks being the biggest one. Yeah, absolutely. You had to improvise when we were younger. You had to improvise. It was a done thing, wasn't it? It wasn't like that they are now. I mean, it's a big thing now, isn't it?
It's
as well.
Huge, yeah.
But yeah, I used to do the as you do, the witch. Get me witch hat. A lot of the time, I'm not going to lie, we used to make them ourselves because we didn't have many pennies back in the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. But look, it's such good fun now as well, isn't it? But I've started enjoying it. I really enjoyed last year, and I think I'll enjoy it again this year if I'm lucky to be off, because I don't think I'm off actually. I'm not sure. I think I might be working, so I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to do that. But we'll see. We'll see, Craig. Now I'm going to use a little bit of matte silver card, because what I'm going to do is create a little bit of a drop shadow behind each one of them. I'm actually going to add a little bit of a white piece to this one as well, but just so you can see what you can be doing with this. I mean, the whole of this collection, Craig, I just think everybody's...
It is.
In fact, do you know what I'm going to encourage people to do? I hope Gorgeous George of the Joystick doesn't mind me saying this. But I'm going to encourage people to send pictures in of what they've made with their Halloween.
That would be good.
Yes, that would be good. Now, I was just going to say, just a few. Did you hear him?
Did you hear?
Just a few.
Yeah, you wouldn't have heard. Yeah, but.
Yeah. But what I was thinking, George, was in time for the craft-along.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
I want you to send thousands. Thousands.
I don't think he heard that bit.
No, he didn't.
He didn't hear that bit. So yeah, if you've got some pictures, we're encouraging you to send them in. Yeah. Look at that. He's even put the strap on the bottom for us. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Please send your pictures into our lovely George, where he will endeavour to share share your beautiful makes with us.
Feel free to address them to George as well if you want to.
Send them directly to him. Have you heard him?
His mobile number is 07. I'm joking.
Oh, bless him. Now, what I'm going to do with this, Craig, is Now, can I just ask, I'm not sure, are dotty tape pens back in stock yet?
Not the dotty ones.
Not the dotty ones. Not to worry, you could still do this with our tacky glue.
Yeah.
So you could have your little tacky glue. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a little bit of a drop shadow behind the back. Now, these are crying out for lights in the windows if you want to make it really spooky. But I'm going with that lovely drop shadow look because I think it looks still effective.
It does, doesn't it?
Just by adding it and dropping it down slightly. And there's no right or wrong way. You can go either side. It's entirely up to you. It's where you think the light would be.
Yeah.
But it's entirely up to you, that one. So I'm just going to use my dotty tape pen around the back. I'm hoping they're coming in soon, Craig.
What I was thinking, Debbie, it was last week that I was dabbling with the Halloween collection. And think back to your advent calendar last year.
Oh.
There was quite a sizable pumpkin stamp and die.
Yep.
There was a smaller version of, picking up what you said, how realistic does that spider look on the glass mat?
Oh my God, look at it. Look at it, it looks real.
It does. So you've got a different one that was in your advent calendar last year, slightly smaller. You've got a little 2x2 or 3x3 spider's web embossing folder. All of these with your paper library as well are going to complement, make your collection bigger. So just use them together.
Yeah, I never thought of that. I forgot about that paper library. It's got some Halloween themed papers in there, hasn't it? Yeah,
papers.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I just think all of this is just such a really fun collection. I love it. I mean, the idea of Halloween anyway, it's such a big thing now.
It is.
One that I think the Americans, obviously our lovely stateside friends and family, have been celebrating a lot longer than we have. But to be fair, I think it's grown a little bit more in the last few years.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's grown a lot more over here. And we do celebrate, I say celebrate it, but we get into the spirit of things. Celebrate's perhaps not the right word. I'm going to ask you, Craig.
Yeah.
Is there a new Halloween film out?
Yeah.
Is there?
This is the last one. Don't worry if you're not into your horrors. I'm not going to go explicit or anything like that. But yes, the Halloween film, the original one with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes.
It is the final one now because, without complicating, because I know there's been like 946 Halloween films. But the very, very, very first Halloween, then there was Halloween, which was 2018.
Yeah.
Then there was Halloween Kills. And then there's the new one, the last one with Jamie Lee Curtis. This is ending the franchise, unless someone else, buys the right and makes a ridiculous film.
Now, Michael Myers, he's just got, they've got to retire him at some point, Craig. They've got to retire him at some point.
Well, that's it. So ultimately, now it is, who is going to survive? Is it going to be Halloween or is it going to be Laurie? Jamie Lee
Curtis.
She's got to. She's got to.
Absolutely. Now, I'm going back to the base of the card. So I've created just a few, and I say just a few. I have actually made, there's going to be 6 large spiders. I've got 6 tombstones, and I've got a cat as well. Oh, and I've also got the haunted house, although I've gone for a couple of haunted houses on this one.
Okay.
But what I'm going to do, Craig, before I start putting all these together, is create that card base. So I'm just switching to my larger plates for the time being. I'll just move all of those. Let me just push those out of the way to one side. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut through using our dies. Now, I've taken the largest of the dies.
Okay.
But the actual one that I want to use is the smallest. So I'm going to create a frame using the 2.
Right.
But to create the aperture, I just need the smallest one. If I did the largest one, Craig, that wouldn't fit in. So that's why I'm taking the next size down. I'm actually just going to hold my paper into place. I'm not sticking it down just yet. I'm just going to hold it into place.
Really good tip, that.
Yeah, and it just secures it slightly. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that out. Now, I might make life easy for myself. I'm going to hold it about there.
Okay.
And it's going to go in the centre. So where your fold line is, roughly around the centre. You could cut through 2 pieces. We all know the power of the Gemini. That probably would work. But because there's no cardstock under here, I'm asking my machine to do a little bit more than I would normally. So what I'm going to do is spread it, pop that out, and then I'm going to hold that down with some low tack tape on the inside as well. And I'm going to make sure that's roughly about halfway. I wanted a bigger gap at the bottom here to put some more things with mine that I'm doing. Like I said, I took some inspiration from our gorgeous Debby Clough. I think she's away actually at the minute, if I remember rightly. But our lovely design team member there who created such a lovely piece that I thought, I'm going to have a go at this one, but do it on my own take, as we normally do here. But that's the lovely thing about inspiration from all of us.
It's funny you saying that, because I know all of us on the team, you know, when we're not here, we're busy away doing prep and that. And sometimes, you know, we'll prep a show, and then we'll come in and we'll see an incredible card or project made by the design team that absolutely is worthwhile recreating for you guys at home.
Yeah.
You know, so what we've prepped, you know, won't go to waste. We'll use it at some point, but sometimes there's just an absolute need, as Debbie's doing with this one here. When she showed me, it was like, so many would love to see how it was made. And, you know, you said it's all about the inspiration.
It is. I just recently done a demonstration at Chesterfield. I did a full demonstration day, Craig, down at my old stomping ground, shall we call it, where met some lovely ladies, some ladies who stayed with me all day, including one Maggie. And I know that I did one of my diamond point cards, and Maggie had said about doing a full base diamond point card, and I said to her, I'm going to set you a challenge. And I set her a challenge, and before the end of the day, when I got back home, she'd actually posted of one that she'd made. And I saw Michelle recreate one this week on Crafters TV, because our lovely Maggie, she's on Facebook as Maggie Makes, I believe. Her name's Maggie Fielding. She actually did a little craft-along stint up here. Lovely lady. Made me a beautiful card, can I just tell you as well, which I always keep my cards, Craig. I don't know about yourself, but I always keep anything that anyone
absolutely,
makes me.
Yeah.
And she recreated it where it was a double point card on the front and the back. Absolutely blew me away. And I'd said to her, I can't believe I'd set her this challenge, and she'd literally taken that challenge and done it straight away. I just thought that were amazing.
So good.
It's so good. And that's the thing, we get inspiration from each other. That's the lovely thing. What I love about our community, our crafting family, shall I say, where we all take inspiration from each other. It's just such a lovely thing.
On Sunday, I was on with Debbie Fisher, Colour Me Happy. She had the re-inkers.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I think I know a good amount when it comes to our alcohol re-inkers. Debbie, she absolutely blew me away, so much so that during the show, I know the bosses are probably watching, but I'm going to say it, Johnny was in, so much so, while Debbie was demonstrating, I was ordering some of the products that Debbie, Johnny's laughing and says, yeah, he was. I posted it actually on my social media, because I never thought of that, I never thought of this, I never thought of the next thing. And Corinne, with a couple of her demos last week, totally inspired me. So in the community, yeah, we get inspired by all of you at home, but from each other, you know, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. I love our re-inkers. So many things you can do with re-inkers. We just tend to think of a re-inker as re-inking with a pen. As you know, Craig, you'll have seen it yourself, well, you saw it with your very eyes. Absolutely amazing demos that Debbie did, showing you all different things that you can do with them, which for me just shows you versatility on certain things as well. Now, what I've done there, Craig, with that one is I've just literally cut the largest one with the same size one, because what I want this now to do is fit over and have a little nice, neat finish when can you see there?
Oh, yeah.
A nice, neat finish, and it gives it a little finish. So that's with our nesting dies. Not sure if the nesting dies are still available. However, you can check the website out. Now, what I'm going to do with this cardstock, and this lovely pattern paper, I don't even need to distress, Craig, because look, in the design, the distress has already been done. So I don't need to do it. Of course, if I wanted to emphasise it more, I absolutely could. But that's how you would create that lovely fold. Would all help to open your glue up, Debbie. Get rid of all that dry glue at the top as well. And I'm just going to pop that on now. So this creates the card blank. And then we'll start to use the pieces that I've done. Now, I know I've already pre-prepped some ahead of the game. However, it's just showing you what you can create with it. Although I am going to do one more thing with the embossing folder. Okay. So I'm going to bring that down a little bit.
And please don't worry, I know it's always that argument, you always have for yourself, we do as well. What side do I use, because it's double-sided? You've got 4 of each sheet.
Yes.
So if you wanted to, you could break it down and keep 2 for one-sided pattern and then have the other 2 for the other side. So you do have a fair amount. But as Johnny just said as well, the paper pad on its own is still so busy. And I think many are just opting to get extras.
Right, I'm just going to trim off my bottom, Craig. Wait a minute. trim off the bottom of my cardstock. I'm not going to be trimming any such thing, just to make that look nice and neater, because don't know about you, Craig, but I get a little bit like, not OCD, but I've got to have it right. If it doesn't look right on my eye, I've got to do it. Otherwise, it just irritates me all the time. So that's me card base done. But I am going to put some acetate behind mine. Now, I did use that large die again, and I've already pre-cut. So just so you can see,
so
pre-cut. There we go. That's better. I've pre-cut using the largest one because I want it to sit behind the actual piece. But I'm going to use the embossing folder, and I'm going to emboss the acetate. I love this. Honestly, I absolutely love this embossing folder. It's just such cool funkiness. But I love what you can do with the embossing folder. Not only does it transform cardstock, but it also transforms things like acetate as well.
Yeah, it does.
Instead of just being a plain piece of acetate, it's now going to be an embossed piece of acetate. And I think it'll add a little bit of more depth and dimension to your projects. So yeah, that's why I've decided to do that as well. And there you go. You've got, I don't know if you can see it now, but it's got that spider's web. Bit difficult under the lights, but I think you can see.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, it's embossed it beautifully. And that's going to sit on the top like so. So you've got that lovely spider's web. So I'm just going to use a bit of our tacky glue. Now I'm going to bring mine, I think I've got mine here.
What I would say as well, and I'm sure Debbie would agree with me, that folders that you get, they are 2D folders. Please don't think it being a given that, well, of course you're going to be able to emboss acetate through it. No, not always. I can't say we. I myself have seen other channels where they've tried to emboss acetate and it ain't worked. Yes, it's to do with the machine as well, but it's also to do with the detail in the folder. And that has just embossed that acetate beautifully and perfectly.
Absolutely. Spot on, Craig. And it literally is. Obviously, the power of the Gemini also helps, but yeah, it's the detail in the embossing folder. And our embossing folders, I've been honestly, if I told you how many embossing folders, in fact, do you know what? I am going to do a count one day and I'm going to own up to how many I've got because I am obsessed with embossing folders.
You always have been, yeah.
I always have been. Just because of what they do to your cardstock, they just change it, they alter it, and they give some extra, what's the right word? Extra character to your card, extra layers to your card, some extra texture to your cardstock, which is just well worth it. Now, I'm having to hold this down, Craig, because as with our tacky glue, it needs a few seconds to get hold and grab hold of that. But it's worth doing it, so just make sure that that's all sat down. I could actually run it through my Gemini, so it seals it even better, but can you see that now? It's create that lovely bit of texture, which is then going to sit over the outside of my card, which I'm just going to do now, Craig. So I'm going to pop, I'm going to help myself a little bit here, turn it that way, and then I'm going to stick, in fact, before I do, shall I add my little extra piece there, or shall I add it onto the back? I think I'll do it now. Yeah, I'll do it now so it's nice and neat and finishes it off nice and neat. So I'm just going to pop, just to seal that all in as well. But yes, I absolutely love embossing folders. What they do to your cardstock, to your papers.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can emboss things like glitter cardstock.
You can.
All sorts of different things that you can emboss. I love embossing parchment paper.
That's beautiful,
it's
isn't
almost,
it?
Yeah, because it's almost like cheating. We're not having to do any we're not having to do any white line parchment because it does it for you. So again, it's just amazing.
But what's good with it as well is plain and simply, as you've just pointed out, those forms that you could emboss. But then some of your cardstock, why not sand it back then?
Yeah.
Or like Debbie's done here, take some of your green or your purple or your orange re-inkers and ink your acetate. Yeah. And then emboss it, or emboss it then. There's just an abundance of things that you can do with your card, your acetate, anything like that once embossed.
It is. Now, I'm having a bit of difficulty on the other side, so just give me a second, Craig.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm going to switch round to my, in fact, tell you what, I'm going to put a little bit extra on because I don't think I put enough on. In fact, let me go around the outside of this as well, get a double bit of glue in, and we'll pop that on. And then we'll start to build up this with the characters from the Halloween collection. Absolutely. Have we had any pictures coming in yet, George?
We've got a few comments while he has a look. Janice Sutton on YouTube is saying, I've been making Halloween treat boxes. They are so cute. They really, really are. I know there was one with the original box, but think of your picnic boxes now. Yeah,
Halloween absolutely. Themed. Yeah, we might not have got that template in this collection, but you can be doing things with our You could do it with your prison boxes,
Of course
you know
you could.
those as well. Those other different boxes that we have. There's all sorts that you can do it with. That's better, and that were better. Just needed that double bit of glue.
Some of the books, the Year of Crafts, had like templates in them for little
Yes,
boxes
they
and
did,
stuff like
yeah.
that. This is what we mean by, and I touched upon this the other day, and it was Debbie that I referenced when we talk about, of course, the lives that we like to do at home, and that's because we don't want to forget about our older collections. You know what I mean? You've spent money on them, and we love to have a play and start to bring them all in, which you can do with what Debbie's doing now.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just making sure this grabs hold as well, Craig, because it's important to make sure it's all stuck down.
Of course.
It's no good be rushing it or anything like that. So I am going to just pop that down. That's the lovely thing about having a 2-hour show in the morning that you can do. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to build up the characters. So let's just pop that onto there. Let me make sure that's nice and secured down. Yep. Now, I'm going to take all my little characters. So I've got my 6 spiders, I've got my 6 tombstones. So let's have, and I think I'll use my favourite glue in the whole wide world, a bit of chunky glue.
Chunky glue.
Yeah, a bit of chunky glue. You can't beat a bit of chunky glue, Craig. You can't beat a bit of chunky glue.
I think there's a poll going up on social later on.
There is.
Yeah, Caitlin came through and took some pictures. Let's just say it may be a poll of adhesive. Oh, do you know what? It's going to be a poll. Is it going to be, do you like Debbie's chunky glue or do you like my foam pads? I think that's going to go up shortly.
Absolutely. We all have preferences and we all have favourites. To be fair, they all do a job.
They do.
Every
They
one of them does a
absolutely
job.
do.
Yeah, so and we all know that the glue, we've had plenty of glue schools to be able to teach you all the the things that you need to do with your glues, the right cardstock, the right glue for the right cardstock, the solvent-based ones, the water-based ones, the tapes. I love tape as well, Craig. I know you do. You love your tape. I love tape too. So there's lots of reasons why you need all these different ones in your life. But of course. It's always nice and a bit of fun to see what other people think.
It really is, because a lot of the time, apart from the key elements, as Debbie was saying, when it comes to the glue schools, where you'd use what, a lot of it's down to preference.
Yeah.
You see Debbie using foam pads, you see me using glue gel, but if we can, we always have a preference as to when we use which one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think again, it's that preference. I do love, don't get me wrong, I do love foam pads, Craig, and I have been using them of late, a little bit more than I would not have normally. But yeah, I still go back to my chunky. I absolutely do. So I'm just trying to make sure. So, and the reason why I've used chunky with this one is it's a wet glue, so it doesn't dry straight away. So it gives me time, to position, because what I want to do is get these on at a decent, well, I'll say decent angle, but is it symmetrical?
Symmetrical?
Is that the
That
word
is
I'm
looking
for?
so cool, though.
Yeah, but you can see it coming together, can't you? I absolutely adore this one. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be the first time I'll have been making these. I think I'm going to do a few different styles of these. But because I'm using my wet glue, I can shuffle these along and get them into place so that I've got them all nice and, that word again, symmetrical.
Symmetrical?
Yeah, symmetrical. I think we're going to go with that one, Craig. And then last, I'm going to put my last little one in between there and just pop that. There we go. Let's just make sure they're all, there we are.
Thank you so much for putting George to work. Thank you.
Now I'm going to add my haunted house. I think I might have a little, in fact, to tell you what, I'm going to snip into this one. Let's have a little snip and play. There we go. So I'm going to have a couple of them literally sat, and I'm going to have a little bit of a, yeah, I think I'm going to go there. Again, I'm going to use my 3D Collal glue. So again, let's just pop it in the right place because I haven't got any window lights behind there. But again, because I've got my wet glue and it doesn't dry straight away. I mean, if you are using wet glue, you do have to take into account the drying time because it isn't instant. A foam pad is instant and it means it sticks straight away. It's nice, it's lovely. Although I did hear there was being a little bit of people asking about why we put glue on the back of foam pads. I do you, Craig?
Yeah. It was actually, there was a question You may have seen on social questions going out that have been fed to Leanne, and she answers them. And there was one saying, you know, why do some demonstrators put glue on the back of their foam pads? And Leanne herself, she was honest and said, actually, she doesn't even really realise, she's not a big foam pad lover, not sure why we do it. And I kind of answered that myself on Friday's craft along. For me, it's about the surface.
Yes.
So if I'm putting my foam pad onto a piece of matte cardstock like black or white or anything like that, I don't need glue because it's going to stick really well. But then if I'm putting that opposite side onto shedless glitter card or something that's uneven, that's when I put a little bit of glue on there. So that's why I put glue on one side, not always on the other.
I see. I just do it so it gives me a bit of wiggle movement.
But there's that as well. Yeah.
That's how I do mine. Now, I'm just going to, because obviously this is still wet, Craig, so I'm just going to hold it up because it does need a bit of drying time. Oh, don't you be flopping off. Let me make sure you stay on there. There we go. And I'll just make sure that that does dry, but there you go. And again, I've got a bit of a pattern dress, so I'm going to just stand there so you can see how you can be creating your Halloween cards with a difference.
Yes.
Because this will stand up as well. It will stand up. You just open it up and stand that down. But because it's a bit wet, I'm going to lay that flat and let it dry off somewhere, Craig. But that's the kind of thing that you can be recreating yourself with the Halloween, the bundle actually. I didn't use anything from the box. This was all from the bundle.
That's good to
So
know.
it's just to show you that the kind of things that you can create, equally just as lovely. There's only a couple of pieces that were missing from that box that aren't in this, which is the templates. That's all. The rest of it is all in there. So it's absolutely amazing, and I absolutely adore this collection. I can't tell you how much I absolutely loved working with it and creating things all the time with it. It's just a fabulous, fabulous collection.
It's fab. It really, really is. And that fab card that Debbie's just made, you could be making as well with the collection. Now, what Debbie used was some black cardstock, which is a crafter you're going to have, I would say you're going to have a little bit of acetate. If you don't, any old packaging, you could then start to emboss that, and some adhesives, okay, so the nesting dies, which I'm sure many would have, and make that incredible card. Absolutely fab. That was, of course, from the Halloween collection, where you've got 24 elements, including stamps, dies, and stencils. Today, you're going to be paying $34.96 or $45.80. If you are platinum, you are going to be paying a bit less, $27.97 or $36.64. Goes to say as well, if you didn't already know, if you join Club Inspire, you're going to get 20% off your first order, which means that if this is your first order, you will also get it for that platinum price. Do you know what? If you ever wonder what Club Inspire is, you want a little bit more, have a look at this.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today. Right, I've got some super exciting news that some of you might know about and some of you might not have heard about yet. So if you haven't already heard, this is a super exciting year for me because I've been offered the opportunity to do my first ever live crafting tour. Now, I've never done anything like this before. I was approached by the team who actually took me on tour when I did the Strictly Live tour earlier this year, and they said, what about doing a theatre tour and bringing craft out there into everyone? And do you know what? It is going to be absolutely incredible. So I wanted to take the chance to explain to those of you that are here in the UK exactly what it's all about, in the hope that you might want to book some tickets, okay? So It's designed as like the ultimate seasonal experience. So I'm going to be up on stage. I'm taking the lovely little Ben Elf along with me to help and keep everyone in check. And I'm so excited for you to get to see the two of us live, up close, in person, having all of the experiences that you have here on Crafters TV, but taking it into the theatre. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be up on stage and I'm going to be showing you how to make everything in the home to really transform what you've got going on at home into a perfect Christmas wonderland. So we've got lots of different decoration ideas, tablescaping, things that you want to make, things for friends and relatives, all the little finishing touches, how to make that the perfect Christmas this year. And of course, that's not all, because you know me, as usual, I've got some super sensational surprises up my sleeve, and I might just need some help up on stage. So there might be chances for the audience to take part in some of the things that I've got planned. Now let me tell you, it is the absolute perfect night out. It's a brilliant girls' night out. So whether it's your mum, your friends, your daughter, your sister, any loved ones, basically get everyone together and come and have a cracking night out with us. And it's just a brilliant way to kickstart your whole festive season. Now I promise you that you will leave feeling so full with loads of ideas and feeling super inspired to go and have the most incredible Christmas ever. So if you want to get your tickets for Craft Your Christmas, and trust me, it's going to be an epic night, you're not going to want to miss out. You can get them over on ticketmaster.co.uk. So that's where you get all the tickets for events around the country. Ticketmaster.co.uk. Go and search Sarah Davies or Sarah Craft and it should come up. If you want any more details, my website, which is sarah-davies.com, it's got all the information on. So that's all from me. Please let me know if you are coming along. I can't wait to see loads of you there, and it's going to be awesome.
You know what I'm really annoyed at? I've got a hospital appointment that day. She's nearby.
Oh no!
I know. Might see if I can rearrange it. Anyway, you're going.
I'm going.
You're going.
Yeah, I'm going to the one up here.
Yeah.
Because I think we've got the Leona Lewis on the night before.
That's right.
And then the day after it's Sarah and Ben, and I'm going along. I'm gonna go and see what it's all about. I can't wait.
Right,
I'm so excited. I can't wait. Bit of Christmas crafting with Sarah. What more could you want?
Absolutely.
And as I am literally a natural born crafter, Craig, me, cut us in half, purple running through his blood.
Exactly.
Just wanted to go and show me face, show me support, and have a good evening, because I know it's going to be a cracker of an evening. So if you haven't got your tickets, head over, go and do that and grab hold of a ticket, because I think it'll be a great night out. And if you are there and you see me being Billy No Mates on my own, come and say hello, because I am on my own. So you can come and say hello. I won't bite.
Oh, you certainly will not be Billy No Mates, that is for sure. Right, well, a lot of love for the Halloween collection, of course. Melanie is saying, I have this Halloween collection and I love it. Vicky is saying, good morning all, sat watching while making Christmas crackers with quilled snowflakes on. You know what, keep George busy, send in a picture, I'd love to see that. Tina on YouTube is saying, good morning, I have this collection, looking forward to the demo at 2 o'clock. Remember, it's a craft along with Debbie. Lynn Miles on Facebook saying, it was great to see you at the Chesterfield store, Debbie.
To see Lynn, yeah.
And she's put, would lovely to see you too. Would be lovely to see you too, Craig. You never know, hopefully I'll get the opportunity. I'm never going to say no, that's for sure. I'll be straight there to get the opportunity. I might have to have a word with the team, I think, see if I can get down there. Zoe on YouTube is saying, I've never thought of using acetate with embossing folders. That's great. Perfect. That's going to look so smart on many different collections where you're using acetate. Laura on Facebook saying that acetate looked cool even with just the stitched border. It did, and actually that stitched border is really going to complement the Halloween collection, I feel. A couple more for now. Rhiannon is saying, I love that style of card, Debbie, thank you for sharing. And Terry Tom saying, yep, Debbie, I'm copying this idea too. There you go, it's what it's all about. Take ideas, run with them, do them exactly the same, change them, that's up to you. But you can, well, always remember, you can go back on YouTube and watch all of our shows for ideas and inspiration when it comes to Crafters TV. Right, from one incredible collection to another one that just launched 24 hours ago, and 70% of the whole bundle has gone. 70%. This is the only way that you can get the 12 by 12 paper pad, and that is in this full bundle. This is the Angel collection, complete collection, $94.99 or $119.95. Look at that saving straight off the bat, £41.88 or $51.40. If you are platinum, however, that comes down to $75.99 or $95.96 for all of this. Now, yours don't come on the boards, of course. Yours comes beautifully packaged, as you would expect. But let's have a look. Now, this collection is one that you absolutely have loved, and that's because you have asked for it. I mean, some of these sentiments that you can see here, you know, you've got your, you are a blessing, you inspire me, just a few. I can't read back to front and upside down, so I'm not going to do it anymore, but you can see what you're going to be getting. Then you've got, this has always been a favourite concept of mine, Debbie, where you get your sentiment die or your word die, and then you get all the stamps to go with it. I love it. So you've got you are an, and then angel, angel, kisses, sweet little angel. You can have a play when it comes to all of these sentiments. Whether you are sending someone a card or a project because of their faith, maybe unfortunately it's a sympathy card, this is the one that so many people are, yes, they're going to be crafting to, but when they do have to make that unfortunate card, they have to make, this is what they're going to. This is what you'd asked for. You didn't know how to create sympathy cards. What was too much? What was too little? How would you create it? You can do that now when it comes to this collection. Your edgeables, I mean, look at that edgeable there with a beautiful angel there. Isn't it gorgeous? Absolutely. Imagine paper piecing that.
Yeah, paper piecing. Oh, what about a bit of vellum behind the back?
Absolutely.
Maybe some acetate and do a bit of colouring on the acetate as well.
Yeah.
So many different things you can do with that.
There really
gorgeous
is.
dye.
You know, but then think about, there's no reason that you can't use these, as I said a moment ago, you know, for your faith, religion, but even a lot of these for, you know, a new baby even, you know, you can be using these ones. You've got your stamps, you've got your dye. Adore, adore, adore that one. I do have my collection. I can't wait to play. This one here, incredible. You've got your dye, and you've got, of course, the outline die cut in, cut out. But look at that one there. Even that on a card. Do you know something? Actually, even just that on a card is beautiful. Turn it upside down. Why not then have it as a butterfly? If you wanted to, you can absolutely do that. There is so many things that you can do. We just go from leaps to bounds when it comes to our embossing folders in 3D. No detail has been lost when it comes to that one there. I'm going to speed up a little bit. Stamp and die, there's just so much. Stamp and die, so if you love your stamping, then of course you can be setting your scene. But then what we've also got is your vellums here. Now, we have got a few already set out here. I'm not sure who done this yesterday, but thank you to do that. These ones here, you can of course get these individually if you wanted to.
It's Craig.
Beautiful, isn't it?
That's the most amazing vellum.
It
Absolutely
really is.
Gorgeous. Look at the colours. I love how we do our paper pads and then the matching vellums.
Exactly, yeah.
Perfectly complement the paper.
They do.
Absolutely gorgeous.
What I love is we'll have our 12 by 12 paper, then we'll have our 8 by 8 vellum, and then we'll have our 6 by 6 paper pads 9 times out of 10. But look at these ones. That was just one of each. But of course, when it comes to that, you are getting 24 of them. Not only was I buzzing about this whole collection, more linen card. You know that's my absolute favourite. These are key colours that are going to be matching. These are Pantone colours here. Ooh. Perfect for this collection, of course, the Angel collection. These are Pantone key colours, Debbie, that even I would be using elsewhere in my crafting.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Just a beautiful collection. And again, everything matches. You're not having to go out looking for things that match. Everything is all brought together for you to be able to use and craft with. And like Craig just said, take out as well. You could use some of those different ones in other other things that you have in your crafty stash. But this is just a glorious, beautiful collection. Something, again, that Sarah and the team listened to, isn't it, Craig, about customer feedback. What is it that you wanted to see? An angel being the top of the list. Oh, I mean, that is stunning. Oh, my days. It's Renaissance looking, that one, Craig.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
it really is.
Producer Johnny, absolutely. It's got that Michelangelo feel. The top of, do you know the top of the top of the chapels?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh my days, it's just glorious.
Absolutely.
Is this the fake paper pad again?
I believe so.
Honestly,
I believe so.
Absolutely stunning.
What I've loved about our paper pads as of late, Debbie, if we just quickly have a look at this one before we come across to you. Beautifully designed, but then when you go to the opposite side, double side, it's the same background but without the image.
Yeah,
and I love having that option, the exact same options. What we've then got is if we come down here, so whether it is your linen cardstocks of your lilacs, maybe you're going to go in with some of the greens, of course, or the peaches, but gorgeous. Bring in your nesting dies, chop them down, of course. I mean, look at that one there. And it's wow. It's every single page. It's wow. Time and time again. All of these ones here. I'm not surprised Johnny was saying this has gone crazy on its own yesterday. And yesterday, hence why it went on its own. But you can see here all of these. Now you've even got your paper distress rippled effect all there, completely smooth.
It's just glorious.
But that effect is there. I'm going to go in. I'm not good at flicking the papers, hence why I'm just turning them. Beautiful. You know, whether you are going to be going in for whatever occasion that you want to, whether you're just going to be holding on to this paper pad, as I've got a funny feeling many of you will be, hence why you went for more than one yesterday. Absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous. These are the words. This collection isn't going to last long, but if it did, these are the words I'd be using all the time. Over 70% has gone with that whole bundle there. That whole bundle is the only way that you can get this 12 by 12 paper pad. You can get extra vellums, etc., across on our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.eu. While you're there, have a peruse, have a look at the download section, see what else you can get from the website. But if you do want to go with that whole collection, $94.99 or $119.95. Platinum, however, does come down to $75.99 or $95.96. Right, Debbie, over to you.
And I honestly, I couldn't wait to get my hands on it this morning because I didn't know that this was going to be on the show. So I'd not, do you know, like normally we get collections, Craig, to have a play with. I've not even actually had this. It was literally done this morning when I got here because it's just a gorgeous collection. And supposedly, supposed to be here for next week's launch party, but they said, stop. We're not sure it's going to be, so you can't have it just yet, Debbie. Hence why I've had to play with it this morning, Craig, because we're not even sure it's going to last the end of the day, let alone the end of the week.
Well, just quickly, I'm meant to have it on Sunday. I'm in all day Sunday. I'm meant to have it on Sunday. Johnny's just said I wouldn't prep much for it.
It's going to be one of those collections that blink and it's gone. And we've had a few in the past, and I can understand why, because of the meaning behind this. For a lot of people, for a lot of different occasions, is why you've asked for it, we've delivered, we've given, you know, the option, and you've just literally embraced it, which is what we've loved. And that's what we love about any of our collections, when you embrace it the way you do. So I'm going to play with a few elements. I've got the Heaven Sent, the Gorgeous Angel, which comes in 2 parts as well, which means you can create a mat, but you've also got the detail as well to create that detail. So I'm going to use those 2 pieces on 2 separate pieces, actually. I'm going to put one onto a Nina cardstock and one onto, now I was in a little bit tight with me. I think I'm going to have to go into another, I know, I think I get carried away, Craig. I don't like to waste too much. And I was thinking about this, thinking, well, we haven't got much of it left. So I'm going to try and be a tad careful with the cardstock and papers and things like that. However, quickly fixed, we'll sort that out, and I'm going to cut out both of those because they're both individual dies, so they'll cut out all the detail as well. So I'm going to pop those on, Excuse me, and I'm going to just, in fact, I'll put the delicate bit first through and then I'll do that piece as well.
There's a standing joke with me, Debbie. When I'm doing my demos, when you're looking down, if I'm die cutting or stamping that, if you can see, if I've been tight and there's very little remaining cardstock, it's come from my own collection. If there's excess cardstock around, it's the studio's collection that I've used, because I'm like, it's mine. So, yeah, standing joke.
Do you save bits, Craig?
Of course,
yeah. I am.
Yeah.
I am shockingly bad for saving
I'm bad.
odd little bits and things like that. Because you never know when it's going to come in handy. You never know when you need that little piece to be able to create something. So that's my reckoning as to why I save all my little bits and then end up with about 300 bit boxes under my craft table because I won't throw anything away. Yeah. Oh, it's ridiculous what we do as crafters. It's absolutely crackers, isn't it? So that's cut my full base out. And you can see I'm just keeping it into plain white cardstock, but then I've got the delicate detail. Now, it's cut out the delicate detail, but I wanted to do this in 2 parts to show you that this is the bit that you can create an aperture with if you wanted to cut into cardstock without doing the full piece. But just by simply placing that die over, now it will cut out that element. And I'm just going to show you, in fact, to tell you what, I'll speed that process up because I've got one cut.
Okay.
But by adding those 2 together, it then cuts out your solid piece. So you've got options to either have it cut into your cardstock or cut the whole thing out. And that's what I love. And that's why I adore the fact that we've popped it into 2 dies that will work each together, but will work each on their own as well. So that's a gorgeous one, and that's the Heaven Sent one. Do we still have these available individually? That's fine. So if you just wanted that particular die, then you could go for that one on its own. Gives you lots of different craftability though by having those 2 pieces. So what I'm going to do, Craig, is I'm going to pop that piece over to the top and it gives me a base. Now this is when you could do things like your paper piecing, if you wanted to paper piece over. I'm going to do a different version of paper piecing because I'm going to colour with it. So I'm not actually doing any paper piecing whatsoever. Okay. I'm going to use some of our colouring mediums. And this is when you can get really creative and create some amazing background pieces. So if I just pop that over to the top.
Can I just quickly say, Debbie,
Yeah.
you know, fully understand that, you know, the price of the Angel collection might still be a considered purchase to that, but fully understand that. So we do have individual elements across on our website. So if you were to spend £40 or $50, you are going to get a saving of 10%. So just to let you know, if maybe you wanted to cherry pick, maybe you don't want it all, you only wanted certain bits, then of course that's a nice way of doing it across on our website.
Absolutely. And this is another easy way. I mean, I love paper piecing, Craig. I'm not going to lie. I love a bit of paper piecing. But because it sits over the top, it creates that little bit of a well.
Yeah.
So that you can actually go in with your mediums, like your colouring mediums, and you can colour with them. So I'm using some tri-blends here, and I'll just do a little bit. I'm not going to do all of it, Craig, but you get the gist, where you can take then segments of these and colour. Now, if you did this on acetate, you'll get a completely different look. It'll look absolutely gorgeous because it'll give you that stained glass window effect. And could you imagine that in acetate?
Exactly.
That background piece. Oh, my days, it would look absolutely fabulous. So again, it just means that you've got a little bit of leeway to create your own, and you're not going over anywhere because you've got the wells of the dye. Is that the right word to use?
Yeah.
To be able to create that effect. And then I'm going to just go a little bit of her hair. Let's go in with a little bit of hair.
It's funny because that was actually my technique with my craft along last week.
Was it?
Was doing that technique exactly what you've done with the 'Tis the Season die. And it was the first time Ben is properly coloured because I got him doing the craft.
Did you get into
along.
craft?
Yep.
Did he win?
And
Did he win the
do you know,
demo of the...
they were doing split screens and there was times that both of us were forgetting whose was whose. He was,
wow.
And he found that raised image, exactly what you're doing, such a helping hand.
Oh, it is. It just makes it so easy to be able to achieve these kinds of looks really, really easily. I'm so pleased you've done that on the craft along then, because it just shows the kind of thing, because I think people are scared to do it.
Yeah, you're right. You're
There's no reason to be, because looks absolutely beautiful. Already coming together.
Well, I was away to say, if you'd just done that, Debbie, just done that and left everything else white.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, you can just pick spots out if you wanted to do a little bit of spot colour, which looks glorious. But that's the finished one, Craig, that I've done. And the only thing that I've done here in the wings, I wanted to give it a little lift. So I've used some of our clear overlay pen. So I took the clear overlay pen, and again, just using it into that well of the the design, and then I added a couple of layers. I let it dry and then put another layer over the top, and it created that lovely glitter. But of course you could be going in with your glitters if you wanted to as well, Craig. But that creates that full piece, which I just think is phenomenal in itself, and that's a lovely little topper ready to go. But I'm not done, because I'm going to use some more pieces, and I love the Believing Angel's wings. I absolutely love this. Again, I've been a little bit tight, but you let me off. You'll let me off.
Just fits, no more.
I'm terrible. But again, I did think, you know, it ain't really my cardstock, and I really should be making the most of it.
No, I get
although saying that now, the way things are going. Although, to be fair, this one actually, this is our, do you know the mats? The satin. I call it the satin because I call it the satin of the, you know, the gold cardstock that we do, where you get the encapsulated glitter.
Oh, yeah.
And you get the mirror card and also the satin card.
That's right, yeah.
That's one of them from the gold. So that's the bit that I've used. But I am very frugal with mine. I like it to last a long time, with it being the luxury cardstock.
Well, that's it.
I'm not gonna waste any of that whatsoever. But again, this cuts out the full solid piece. If I just now remove that, I think I got away with that, Craig. Yeah, I think I got away with it. So let's just take that off for a second, throw that away. And I'm going to peel this back, because I'm going to be gentle with this, because this die, can you see here, has stayed connected in. It's the wing elements, because it's got, I'll give it a tap. Let's do it the easy way. Give it a little tiny tap to release it. But it's got the liftable wings. And I haven't even finished poking out all the little bits yet, Craig, because look at this. This detail on this is just phenomenal and looks beautiful in any kind of cardstock, to be fair. I don't think, no matter what colour you use, I think will look absolutely glorious. But I love this element. That liftable, with the skeleton still there to create, that's the bit that you're going to stick down, because you want to create a little bit of a lift element onto the back. However, I am going to sit mine at the back. Now, if I sit at the back, doesn't quite give me the look I'm wanting. So, what I did with mine, Craig, if I think I've got the, yeah, got it right, well, wrong way around. I'm going to just release it from that die. So, I'm going to snip that little bit out.
So there's still snippage within this collection.
Exactly.
If you want to.
Exactly. So it can release the base bit and just leave me the lovely decorative bit, and then just snip up the centre. Because I want to add extra bit of wings to my design to give it more flight, to give it more lift. And that's why I chose to do that one. So I've already poked out these little pieces, and we'll start to put this on again in a second. I've actually used that gorgeous set that you talked about, the Angel. I've done it in a couple of colours. So I've used the blue, and I've also used the gold. I've ran it through my Xyron. I say my Xyron, the Xyron at the studio. As you do. As we do. I don't carry one around with me, but while there's one here, I'd be rude not to. Of course, it'd be rude not to.
Be rude not to.
Now, there's another element in this collection that I'm going to use before I start putting this all together. This gorgeous, beautiful 3D embossing folder. It's absolutely glorious. And again, I've took some multi-purpose cardstock. I'm just going to fit this in 5x7 in size. With a 3D embossing folder, of course, we have to switch up the platform on our Gemini. So I'm going to bring in my magnetic shim, my plastic shim, and then run that through the machine. Absolutely. So, did we say we got some pictures coming in?
I believe we do. We're going to see them just shortly.
I thought he'd been quiet. I think he's been busy in a way there with his
joystick.
Thank you.
I knew. I thought I need to give her a helping hand there. I just knew it.
Oh, you saved me there, Craig. Oh, you knew what were coming out of my mouth then, didn't you?
I knew what was coming.
You saved me from
anyone in this company I can read like a book, it's you.
Yes, so, because, well, he has a lot of buttons and things in there that he presses and not plays with, but moves. You know what I mean? Hello? Hello?
I would stop while you're ahead.
Oh. Stop while I'm ahead. Absolutely, before I get myself into any trouble. I haven't been up here for a while and I want to come back again.
That's why we love you a bit.
Oh dear. Do you know, because it's in my head and then it's coming down, then sometimes it doesn't stop and it don't filter, it just straight out of the mouth without realising. And I've done that many a time, on many occasion, as the girls at Chesterfield will tell you as well, honestly. I'm exactly the same in real life as I am on the screen, can I just say?
You absolutely, categorically are. In real life, exactly as you see on Crafters TV. And we never want you to change.
Exactly. You couldn't change me, if you tried.
We want it.
Do you know what? I think I might be using wrong colour here. I think I've gone with my pale fig.
Pale fig?
Pale fig. I think I wanted to use my crushed velvet. I'll tell you what. I'll go over the top. Oh, look. The embossed detail. And I'm just going to show you, because I'll do some of it. In fact, actually, I might do all of it, actually, because I love this. Yeah, I think I'll do all of it. Now, this is when I talk about transforming cardstock into something really beautiful. And the lovely thing about this 3D one is the script is the flat, what I call the first level of embossing. And then the wing details and the feather details on there is the second level and the third level. And you can see the third level because it catches the ink even more because it's the first thing that it contacts with. So again, just absolutely beautiful design. And I mean, you could do this with your letterpress techniques as well, Craig. Yeah.
Oh, how amazing that would look, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. But again, I'm just going to go in and... because this is just going to be a background piece in the inside of my card, but you can really see that detail come to life. Just looks phenomenal. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to carry on, Craig, because I get carried away with me embossing. And
what I was actually thinking as well, the angel that you coloured in, Debbie, I'll wait to see again just in a moment or two.
Yep.
That would be quite easy to snip away the wings as well if you just wanted a lovely lady or man in a gown.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really quite an easy one to snip.
Yeah, and even look, popping it onto the top, it's still got that lovely, I quite like that as well, yeah, absolutely. So that's the gorgeous embossing folder. I did use a slightly different colour with that one, as you can see. That is the pale fig. I actually did stick with pale fig, but I'm not sure which one I like more.
I'm hand on heart, I'm genuinely not just saying that, but what you've done, I love that boldness of the colour. I think that really shows off the depth of the embossing.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with this one.
Yeah, I
think I'm going to stick with this one. So I'll just move that to one side because it's got to stick. It's got to, like I said, it's got to be in the background of this anyway. So I've got a piece of cardstock for it to sit onto. I did do a little bit of the word gutting. What do you call it, Craig?
Gutting.
Do you call it gutting as well?
I don't have an issue with that word. I think it is what it is. It's gutting your cardstock.
Because they say hollowing, but I can't.
No,
it doesn't sound right when you say that. Nope. So, or removing the centre.
Yeah. We'll
remove the centre, just so you've got a little bit more of your cardstock to play with. And of course, it's going to sit on the backdrop of my card, so I don't really need to be, you know, I can save that piece to cut out.
Absolutely.
In fact, actually, to be fair, that's why. It was the bit that I cut out of the centre there to try and get a little bit more longevity out of it. Now, I've already done a card base. Now, I know we've got, we've got the cardstock on there, but I've created a little bit, and you might have seen us do these before, Craig. I know you've done some, I've done some in the past, Michelle has, Deb's, Jam. We've all done these, like a floating element using some acetate, because I want this to be the front part where my topper, and I say my topper, where my angel's going to sit, but in the backdrop, I am going to pop, now, before I do, I'm going to clean that because I know what I'm like. I'll end up with it all over my card. And again, not that I'm a perfectionist, but I am. So we'll clean that up. There we go. So just to wipe that up because it's a bit wet. So I'm going to just pop that into the background of that cardstock. And it offers me a little bit of extra. Again, it's that texture, some more dimension, some more layers. And I'm just going to pop a bit of wet glue.
I would be intrigued to know in the comments, get your comments coming, there's still loads coming in, we'll read them out in a moment, but what other occasions would you be inclined to use this collection for? You know, maybe it is, maybe you're going to keep it solely for sympathy, but seeing what Debbie's done with the colours, the techniques, you know, you could use it for the faith or even a new beginning for a new baby, you can absolutely do that. Let me know in the comments, just along the bottom there, where and when or how you're going to be using your collection. Yeah, because this is a... Do you know, if my Auntie Jane was still with us, this would be
what she would have bought by the drove, because she loved making angel-themed cards. Used to rely on card, you know, people to do the collections in card form, where she could use toppers and things like that. But she would have absolutely loved this collection because angels meant a lot to her. So yeah, I can totally understand why people love this. I'm just going to grab some foam pads, Craig, just for a second.
Picking up as well what you could, and I am touching upon this because so many of you have asked for a collection like this because of what I'm going to say. If you have, everyone has lost loved ones. If you are wanting to capture the memories within scrapbooking pages, I'm going to say it right now, I do not think there is another collection that would be spot on for scrapbook pages, remembering the moments, whether it's memory books, as maybe you're going to chop them down to 8x8 memory books. This to me is a collection that is absolutely perfect for creating or capturing the moments of loved ones that are no longer around.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've got some super sticky foam back tops here, Craig, because I'm having trouble whipping them off.
Have you?
And I know you have got, you're very good at whipping the backs off.
Yes, my fingernail.
Your foam pad fingers.
I've got my foam pad finger picky. That one. Anyone that's...
Have you got your own picky finger?
I do indeed. Anyone that's never watched this before, never watched me before, just to clarify as well, when I do have to cut my nails, my main finger that I use quite a lot when it comes to peeling back and that off, I keep a little bit longer for my foam pads.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Well, it's a bit like a guitarist, he keeps it so he can pluck with it, isn't he? So they pluck, so they have certain fingers, don't they, that have got longer nails.
Right,
that's right, isn't it? I
I
wasn't making that up then, was it? So. Guitar players have longer fingernails, don't they? Yeah. So, yeah, I did think I was going daft. Now, I'm going to just pop my angel on because we've got sweet little, and then I'm just going to pop this on. Although I could pop it up at the top. No, I think I'll go with the bottom still. And I'm not going to be too worried about having that just anchored underneath. And I'm going to go in for that double layer again. So we're going to pop that underneath. And then you've got yourself another lovely, I mean, it's just such a gorgeous collection. It really, truly is. I'm just going to...
I'm so glad I'm not allowed to vote for demo of the show.
Well, I mean, honestly, it would be tough because, you know, the whole collection, all the things that we've got on today's shows, we've not even talked about tonight yet, have we? All the things that we've got on... Actually, is it tonight? Am I going daft? Because I've only got 2 shows today. Well, anyway, the things that we've got on the show today, I think, well, I mean, come on, this collection is just absolutely angelic. It is absolutely beautiful. And it's been a pleasure to work with this collection. I'm so glad I did get to have my hands on it very slightly, albeit not my own collection, the studio collection, but to get creative. And literally, this just took about half an hour this morning to create this. So honestly, so easy to do,
gorgeous.
So easy to use. Beautiful pieces in this entire collection. And of course, you could go back and watch our gorgeous Sarah with her amazing demos that she did yesterday as well. And I'll show you a few more finished samples later on.
Thank you for that one, Debbie. I absolutely loved that one. So many comments, as I was saying, coming in thick and fast. We've got Ashley on the comments for the remainder of Wake Up Call. Janko on Facebook is saying, I would love to see supplemental angels over time. A male angel would be awesome. Good thinking, really good thinking. We do say time and time again, Leanne, product development team, they always keep an eye out. We take notes on that as well for things you've asked for. Jane Byford on YouTube, wow, you could paper piece that angel and make it into a stained glass window, as Debbie was saying. Absolutely, you could. Annie is saying, I save all my bits as well. I have given to teachers before for their students to make mosaics. Love idea. I do get to a point, before I moved here, back home in Scotland, I did get to a point I used to give my friend all my offcuts for the school. And he is also saying, wow, that is fine and fabulous in the gold. We've also got Lynn Miles is saying, so true, Debbie, beautiful inside and out. Christy on YouTube is saying, you could even snip the original wings off and just use the other ones, referring to the die that Debbie used and showed. You could do, and that's the thing. You can do snipping away, create different looks. Christy is also saying you could make a tree topper with those wings. Nice idea. Really nice idea. Christine Mahoney is saying, oh, I love that card, Debbie. Maureen on Facebook, beautiful. Couple more for now. Val on Facebook is saying, I think the angels and wings would be good for steampunk projects.
Love that idea.
Never thought of that. Never thought of that. Would be absolutely spot on. Rosalind on Facebook is saying, that's beautiful, Debbie. Could add some glossy highlights to the robe. Again, this is where we take ideas and inspiration from all of you. Miriam is saying, this is a beautiful collection. Agree with Craig, the scrapbooking elements make this memorable and special. And Maureen is saying, gorgeous collection. That word, as well as wow, has just absolutely kind of like epitomised this collection over the last 24 hours. That being the Angel collection, $94.99 or $119.95. Well, you have been keeping George very, very busy, and we want you to keep doing that throughout the day. Let's have a look at seeing what you've been sending in. Janice has been using with the Halloween collection. Isn't that a fun one?
Oh, I love that, Janice.
Love that. Absolutely love that one on the front there.
I absolutely love that mouse.
I love that with the collection, how it's cute when it comes to some of the elements. Not all, but it was really, really cute. Janice has also made these ones. I believe this was with the template that originally came in, but you could use your picnic boxes. I love I was about to say black and white. I love the black and orange effect.
Yeah,
keeping
absolutely.
it simple.
The colours just sum up Halloween perfectly as well,
don't
they? So that is gorgeous, that.
They
Beautiful,
really
Janice. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Kathy, for sending yours in. Oh, look at that one. Is that like a little pocket or book?
Oh, Kathy, I love that.
Oh, I think we're actually waiting to see in a moment what Kathy's done. Mini 4x4 folio folds out.
I love that.
Could you imagine?
Kathy, that's amazing.
Kathy, that is gorgeous. Imagine that with the Angel collection, though.
Yeah.
With the photos and that. Absolutely beautiful. Sarah has been... Oh, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. Look at them.
Oh, God. They look so realistic.
They do.
Oh, that is amazing. I love that as well, Sarah. That's beautiful. Them spiders, aren't they, Craig?
Oh, really?
They are really, truly realistic, scary-looking things. But absolutely amazing.
I think they're on acetate. I think they pop up when you open the box.
You what?
They're on acetate. When you open the box, they pop up.
Oh my God, that would scare living pudoobies out of me.
It would be me as well.
Oh my days.
What a great take on a pop-up box.
They actually as well, do you know those spiders? They look like they've got a spring loaded. Craig.
Great idea.
Do you know the what did we call them? Where they boing, boing. Oh, what do they call them? Those spinny.
Penny sliders.
Penny what?
Penny sliders.
No, the other ones. The boingy ones, the flippy floppy ones that wibble wobble. Oh, what did they call them? And they've got that little mechanism. They came in the little craft box as well as the big collection that we did. Oh, Johnny, what did they call them?
Oh, the
wobbler collections. Yeah, you could use the wobbler connection behind the back.
You could do.
Yeah.
You could do.
Or a little bit of... I know, I couldn't even think of that word. I'm so sorry, Craig. I'm really sorry.
No, they're probably shouting at me going, come on, Craig, you should know that one, the wobbler collection.
Although you could put them onto a little bit of acetate and have them springing on the top of your box, as well as popping out of the box. That's amazing. Oh my God, look at that, Sarah.
Look at that. This is also Sarah as well.
Oh, amazing.
It really, really is amazing. Thank you for that one, Sarah. Look at Terry. That's not Terry, just to say. I believe that is Terry's dog, Terry Anderson. Thank you for sending that one. It's given us all a little... no, Terry Anderson I recognise from the comments. That's Terry that sent it and not Terry the dog. Now, also getting creative, Terry.
This is what I did on my craft along, and Terry Joy, not craft along. This is what I did on my craft Facebook Live, and Terry sent me a lovely picture showing me what she'd recreated with it. Superb, absolutely beautiful, just gorgeous.
Absolutely gorgeous. You know, you will. Obviously, the craft along later on is dedicated to crafting along as well. Do keep George busy in that show as well with any other pictures that you've made when it comes to the Halloween collection. That is studio at crafterscompanion.co.uk. That is the email and just direct them to George. So we've had a little look at some of the collections that you've been getting creative with when it comes to the Halloween collection. We're going to jump back to that one, this one being the Halloween collection. Now, the original Halloween box collection, that sold out near enough instantly, pretty much. What we do have, though, is another, when I say little collection, you get so many of the elements that you got within the box, just a couple of things like the picnic box template that you don't get, and a couple of others. But what we have got in this collection, 24 elements, stamps, dies, stencils, and more, is the 6x6 paper pad. Everything I'm away to show you is in the collection. You can get them individually. And I'm not surprised so many of you have been getting the paper pad on its own, either to complement the box that you got before it sold out, or just as an additional for this collection here. You've got all of your papers, 32 sheets, and you get 4 of each design. Then we've got stamps, we've got dies, we've got a template or stencil, and of course an embossing folder within this one here. Then within this one, what we've also got is stamps, dies, and we've got a stencil as well. You do get an embossing folder, just to say it is the same 4x6 embossing folder spider web in each one. As Debbie said earlier on, potentially you are actually going to be using that one quite a lot within your projects. Speed up your projects that little bit and use the folder, you know, all 3 at once if you want to. But the stamps, the dies, the templates, these are all completely different within these ones here. So you're getting all 4 of these elements, £34.96 or $45.80. Platinum price does come down to $27.97 or $36.64. Cracking price where you can get that across on our website. Best place to go is shop the day, of course. Plenty of time for Halloween to come to get your cards and your projects. But while you're on the website, check out the end of the summer sale, but check something else out if you're in America. US warehouse clearance tonight. Debbie, for you guys stateside, all the deals are live now.
I know, and I hope that
Get in there.
I'm going to say, because I did say I'm only here for 2 shows today because there's something going up later on, and I didn't know if anybody knew or if they were saving it. So it is a great idea to head over to that website and go and have a little look at all the things that are live right now.
Absolutely.
Ahead of Sarah and Ben. I think they'll forgive us.
I think so.
They'll forgive us for letting you know that right now. So shop ahead and get hold of some of those, because you know what it's like whenever we do like a warehouse clearance, Craig. Things disappear like really super fast.
They do.
And there's some amazing things. Did I hear mystery bag?
Mystery box.
A mystery box?
Yeah. Do you know what else? Is when it comes to the clearance, if you spend over $50, free shipping on the clearance items. Yep. So if you see it with an orange sticker, that's part of the warehouse clearance for you guys stateside. Spend $50 or more, you're going to get free shipping. That's Ben and Sarah. That's later on. It's all about Debbie and the Halloween collection. Now let's go back to see what Debbie's going to be making. Whew. All about Debbie, and Debbie just went off screen there. I was like, okay, no, it's not quite yet.
Sorry, I needed to go and grab an ink pad.
What are you going to be doing, Debbie?
Right, so I'm going to make a lovely little gift box. Because although we haven't got the template in there from the original box, it doesn't matter. You can make boxes. I love making boxes, big boxes, small boxes, prison boxes, pop-out boxes. Oh, I saw the gorgeous craft along the other day with Michelle. Just beautiful box. Any kind of boxes you can be doing this with. I'm going for a standard straightforward box, but I'm going to use a little element of the paper pad again. And I am going to use from the kit rather than the box. I'm going to use from the kit. So I'm using from the Wicked Witchcraft kit. I'm going to be using the stencil. Okay. I'm going to be using the dies and the stamp as well. So for this, again, perfect one. Now, you saw me use on the first demonstration, the back part with the lovely spiders. But on here, you've got little scenes. So you've got strips of scenes that you can be popping onto your boxes. I've actually taken this piece here, she says, this piece here, because you've got a few scenes, where I've just snipped that out of the pad.
Yeah.
So you literally just follow those lines and snip that out, because what I want to do is now use the stencil. Now the lovely thing about a stencil, and Craig will tell you, you can either that way or that way.
Yeah.
You can have it flying in any direction you want. You've got cats on here, you've got the witch, you've got a cauldron, you've got all the bubble, toilet and trouble coming out of the top. You've got a hat, oh, I say hey hats, you've got a couple of hats on there, a broomstick, the moon, and another different kind of a witch there as well. So I'm going to have her floating mid-air. I'm going to tilt her. I'm going to hold it down with a little bit of low-tack tape again. So I'm going to bring in some low-tack tape.
Okay.
And I'm going to, let me just position her as though she's flying over the moon. And I'm going to hold that down. Now, of course, with any of these, you could be using things like a repositional spray to hold this down. But I am going to tape off little areas that I don't want to be inking through as well. So I'm going to just cover my moon up.
And this, to many, this might sound, you know, obvious, but to others, and it is a question we've been asked, and it's awesome that Debbie's shown this. When you've got a stencil with lots of elements, sometimes we get asked, well, how do you use just the element without inking the other bits?
Yeah.
Do exactly what Debbie's doing.
Yeah, and I've just masked it over it. Now, you could use our masking tape for that as well, but I've just used some low-tack tape, and I can reuse this tape as well. But it just means I've covered all the elements over that I don't want to be inking through, and the main image that I do want to ink through, although I've just seen, I've gone a tad too big on that one, let me just push that up a little bit, is just the main image. And I'm going to use our opaque pigment ink pad for this one. I'm actually going to grab a little finger dabber, just to pop this through. But again, you could be using any of the ink pads, and I'm just going to go through and use it as a stencil. Because of the opaque pigment ink, you could actually add things like your clear embossing powder, and you could emboss her over as well. But I'm just going to keep going until I've got the image that I want. The lovely thing about our pigment ink pads is, they do offer you that ability, but also, again, you can blend. So if you want to add a couple of other little colours, you can absolutely do that as well. But I'm just wanting to use it as a stencil. You can use things like quick dry ink as well. So you could go in with your quick dry inks over the top. You can do it with the water reactive as well. So it's just a case of popping that down. Now, I would normally use jet black, because noir black is a bit of a softer black. Is that the right word to use?
Yeah.
Because black is black at the end of the day, but you can get a more solid finish with the jet black. But I just couldn't find it, Craig. It's got legs and gone missing. It's got his broomstick and gone missing. That's
Incidentally as well, if you go onto our website, have a look at Shop the Day, you'll find a lovely little Halloween collection of water reactive ink pads. There is 6 of them. You're going to get jet black, honey pot, Bordeaux, Chinese red, Friar brown and pine tree, £30.50 or $45.50. If we get a chance later on, we'll show you the actual ink pads. I've got them here, but they are just at the bottom of the screen. Just while Debbie mentioned ink pads and showing what you're doing, water reactive on Shop the Day.
There you go, you've got your lovely little image going
Look
across
at
there.
that.
And it looks really beautiful. Obviously, it's very wet still because with the nature of an opaque pigment ink, it stays wetter longer. It's got a longer drying time. So it's not an instant dry, which is why we can class it as like a sticky ink, so to speak, to be able to add things like your clear embossing powder. I'm actually quite happy with the image, so I'm not going to do that on this occasion, but it's the options that you've got.
Do you know what that reminds me of?
What's that?
Halloween version of E.T.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, I like that. I'll take that one. But yeah, it does. It's just a lovely image. And again, I'm just going to soften round the edges as well, Craig, just by using the same ink and going around the edge. Although, to be fair, did you say you got the black? Because have we got a black one over here?
There's black water reactive.
I would use the water reactive for this, but I think the black's missing. Let me just see if that's it. No, that's Silent Night.
Do you want to borrow mine?
What's this? Let's have a little look.
No.
Perfect, I've got it.
You got it.
I've got it. So I'm going to go in with the jet black. Is that the one that we've got in the bundle?
It is indeed.
Perfect. Because you can do it with your opaque, but because it is wetter for a bit longer, you can smudge it slightly. So I don't want to do that. So perfect for this, the water reactive one, and I'm just going to go around the outside and just literally frame that a little bit. and it adds a little bit more texture.
It does. It really does.
A little bit more spookiness.
When you were talking about the two blacks a minute ago not being black, that's the same for actually the black on the pattern paper. You might think it's completely black. It's not. You'll have noticed there at the bottom, you can see where Debbie's put the jet black over the pattern paper. So it's still creating that extra depth as well, framing it.
Yeah, and it just frames it. It gives it a little bit more of a soft, I say a softer finish, but not as harsh as the finish as well. So you can be doing that as well. So I'm just going to put that to one side, let that dry for a second, and just wipe up this little bit of excess ink. So let's get rid of that. There must be some tissue in here. Oh, there it is. I'm not going to keep using my dress. I do that at home, but I'm not going to keep doing it. So let's just clean that up, because we've got other elements now that we can be using as well. So in this one, I'm going to use the lovely cat, and I say the lovely cat because it's probably one of the cutest cats that you ever did see, and not an overly scary cat as well. It's a really nice one. Lovely sentiment on here as well, and the sentiment I love because it's got a little play on the word, and I'll show you in a second what I mean by that. So I'll just pop that down. So nice acrylic stamp set on there as well. Excuse me. And also all the rest of the dies. So you've got the dies to be able to create the witch if you wanted to, a cauldron and a cat. Lots of elements on there, but we're just going to do a little tiny bit of stamping.
Okey-doke.
And then add that on. And I've just seen the time. Goodness me.
I know this is
the
flown
time flies by. Let me just quickly ink that up. Because I'll fast forward the colouring part. I'll not do the colouring part for you. But again, you don't have to worry about the snippability factor, because Craig, I know you love fussy cutting. Yeah. And it doesn't take 2 minutes to do that, to be fair. But you've got that lovely play on the word where you've got the hats running through the hay instead of the hat is instead of the A. And then the lovely image there as well that you're going to use. Let's just push that to one side. Colour them in, fussy cut, and you've created... It comes to life. Looks lovely in black and white, but really comes to life when you use things like your tri-blends or your... Actually, you could use pencil, any colouring medium you want whatsoever. Just bear in mind, if you are using alcohol markers, alcohol-proof dye, if you're using anything water-based, just switch to the other one. And again, literally, you've just created there a lovely little character that's going to come to life on my box. However, I want a couple of more little pieces, so I'm going to bring in the cauldron, the cat, might have a spider or two actually, because they're so realistic.
As I said earlier, Debbie, I'm in all Sunday, and Colour Me Happy is all about our Illustrator pens, so we can go over that. I should be excited about the shows. I'm more excited to be working with Jo. We haven't worked together since June.
No way.
June, absolutely crazy. We crossed paths briefly this last week or so. As I finished Colour Me Happy last Sunday, he came in. But yeah, we've not worked together since June, because I went off ill at the start of July from my operation. And then since I've been back, like 2 weeks or so, we haven't worked together.
That's crazy, isn't
so
it?
So it's good. I think
passing ships.
Yes, passing ships. And I think it's Johnny and Charlotte, I think. It is,
Oh, that'll be a good one.
So it's going to be good, yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And I know you love your colouring. I just love your colouring, Craig. I know you say that you know, it's something that you, especially over the last couple of years.
Still working on,
We all do, Craig, though. That's the thing, we all do. I love colouring, I'm not going to lie. It's become one of my favourite crafts of late, and I just love the effects. I'll tell you when mine came along, and when it really ramped up another level. Do you know the kits that we had with the artists that we worked with? The creative kits and things like that. Mine literally came to life, and it just went up another level. And I absolutely love colouring now. I feel more confident in colouring than I ever have done before. And that's the lovely thing with our products. We don't just leave you. We don't just say, you know, buy it, there you go, bye-bye. We give you all that tuition, all that free tuition. Leanne, of course, being the queen of everything spectrum, there's nobody else that you could learn anything with colouring more.
Vouch for you on that one, because as we've talked, both of us, we've been crafting for years and years and years. Debbie, I've tried alcohol colouring. I've tried all the other brands, and I just couldn't do it. Could not do it. And for me, as in my opinion, if you want to get started, tri-blends are a great way to start with. I know we've got them on the website, but you can jump to your illustrators. There's a different look, feel to them. We'll talk to you all about that next week. But it's because of Spectrum Noir that I feel, as you said, I would never dare come on to a show and do colouring, whereas I'm quite confident and comfortable now.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you again, it's like with anything, it's practice makes perfect. And just keep practicing all those tuitions. We've got hundreds and hundreds of hours of tuition on the website that you can go back to at any time because they live there forever. I saw you shared that clip the other week of the first time that we were at the other side of the studio where we did the shows with you and Leanne. I thought that were hilarious, because it's like a real blast from the past, isn't it?
Blast from the past, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Now, Craig, my box has took a bit of a battering on the way up, so I'm going to, thankfully that's the base. But this is 11.5-inch square that I've used with A3 cardstock.
Okay.
And I've literally scored this at 2.5 inches all the way around. That's my base. My lid is 9.5-inch square and I've scored it at 1.5 inches round. It will fit perfectly onto the top of the other, but I'm just going to decorate this before I do. And again, take pieces from your paper pad because that's one of the patterns that's in there that sits perfectly just by snipping in. And again, just touch around the edges with your ink to create a little bit of a border. You don't have to do matting and layering every single time. You can obviously do that if that's what you love. And I'm not going to lie, I do love a bit of matting and layering. But sometimes you can speed things up a little bit and cheat a little bit. So we're going to just pop all these pieces all the way around and we're going to decorate all of this before we actually stick it together. And then create the scenes and pop all the rest of the pieces on there.
And please don't ever think, and this is the prime example, you know, with the Halloween collection that we're showing you today that you've got your stamp, you've got your dies, but because of the embossing folder being 4x6 in the paper pad, and when I say just 6x6, what I mean by that is please don't think you can't do bigger projects. You can't do elaborate projects. You absolutely can do. Take the reverse of the paper pads, sure you'd agree, Debbie, attach them side by side to create a 12x12 one if you wanted to. Or do your boxes, you know, do memory, but you can still do bigger projects. The smaller the element, the nicer the price for you guys, but you can still go bigger if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this is using our pumpkin. Do you know the Centura Pearl, Craig?
Oh, yeah.
That's the pumpkin colour that I've just used for the topper of my box. Just to, again, highlight and lift it a little bit. And you can see now with the 6x6 over the top there, it looks absolutely fabulous. But again, we're going to add some more texture. So I've taken a piece of, do you know the lovely one that's got the stripy back? Yeah. I've taken a piece there, and again, I've just mounted it onto some of the pumpkin Centura Pearl again, and I'm going to have a little strip running through the centre to break up that little piece as well, and I'm just going to pop that onto the top. So again, I'm decorating the box lid, if you've noticed, before I'm actually putting it together. But again, it's just adding textures, adding layers, and recreating some amazing things. The lovely thing about this is this whole collection is just absolutely phenomenal. It really is. I don't think there's any part of it that I've got bored with working with. I've really, really enjoyed it. It's been utterly fabulous. It really has. I'm just going to do a little bit of, now what have I done with my pumpkin piece? There it is. Let's just bring this in because that's going to sit into the back. And then your piece, and because it's still a little bit wet, I'm going to use the one that I did earlier. Yeah. Just pop that onto the centre panel as well. So that's going to create a little bit more texture again. Do you remember the challenges that you used to do on blogs, Craig? Have you been a blogger before in the past?
Oh, I wonder what you said there for a minute.
Did you?
Yeah, I was a bit confused there. Do
you know challenges where you used to do concepts and things like that, and break? So sometimes, like before dies and things like that, we used to do things with paper and compose things differently. And I can't remember the word that you use. Remember the year of the craft? We had a pad in there. Not a pad, a booklet in there of all different things. Sketches, that's it. That's the one. I couldn't remember the name of it, but yeah, where you compose different styles. And that's all I've done with this one. I've just thought about how can I break it up a little bit? How can I add a little bit of texture? So I've just put a strip through running through the middle. That's all I've done.
Such a good tip and idea as well, Debbie.
Yeah, and I sometimes forget. We get so wrapped up in all those dies and especially I sometimes forget about that. And that's a very simple sketch, but it looks absolutely fabulous. My friend used to run them on her blog. So yeah, I completely forgot about it. Completely forgot about the name. I'm going to write that down somewhere, Craig, so I don't forget in future. But yeah, so it's sometimes nice to create something. Again, just adds a little bit of dimension, a little bit of an interest to your box or your card. I am going to just stick this together before I start putting the other pieces on though, Craig. So
okay, no problem.
I'm just going to pop all of these panels in.
That's fine. And then
again, just tuck on my little flaps behind each other. And then just, there we go, that creates that lovely piece. So you can see my box lid. We're going to decorate a little bit more though, so I'm just going to pop together my base, because it's a little bit bigger. I like a little bit of, now normally I make boxes where they snugly fit over the top of each other, but it's sometimes nice to add a bit of a dimension again by adding a thicker base to a thinner
oh my
piece.
gosh, Debbie, we are so alike.
I know, because it's nice, isn't it? Because your head in your hand then.
Can I just show, I don't know if it's still here, if it seems to disappear. I'm going to, look while you're doing that.
I wondered why you were putting your head in your hands. I thought, what have I said?
I'm going to come at your, just
is
for
this
up
your
above.
cracker box?
So,
yeah, yeah. Just to have it creates something that little bit different.
Doesn't it?
Rather than fitting it snugly over the top of each other, it's sometimes nice to have where you have got, and if I just bring mine in so you can see where exactly how Craig's just said, I can't believe what you think we think alike. But it adds just a little bit of an extra, let me just lift that there again. It just adds a little bit more to your box. Sometimes it's nice to have that rather than it being a snug fit right over the top. There's nothing to stop you from doing that if that's what you want to do, but it just creates a little bit of an extra element to it. So I'm going to use some of my 3D Clar glue now just to add all the extra pieces on. I'm going to use my Happy Halloween tag, so we're going to pop that on. Like so. I'm going to have a little bit of a twist. And I've got myself my little
cauldron?
Cauldron, thank you. Couldn't think of the word there. And I'm just going to start adding these. Now, the cauldron that I've done here, Craig, is I've just added, do you know our, you know the 3-tip ones that we get in the, and I can't remember the name of them, completely escaped my mind, the metallics, where you've got the 3 tips. Liquid gold and that, so it's like the nib, the thin, the chisel, the nib, fine point nib, and then the really fine one.
Yes.
3 mil, 0.3 mil, 4 mil, and that's the one I'm thinking of, but I can't remember the name of them. I've just added a little bit of extra texture. You could use, though, a gel pen. Sorry, Craig, I'm throwing you right to
no,
left,
that's
right,
okay.
and centre.
No.
It's because I've got to a certain age where I've just forgot how to speak. I forgot words. I forget things a lot.
Is it the
happens.
markers?
My mum used to say to me, Debbie, you'll understand when you get to that age. I've got to that age now, Mum, and I completely understand where you're coming from, and I apologise for being a brat, saying that you were just putting it on. Because I didn't think that. I thought, she's talking nonsense. She's talking nonsense. But it's true. You get to a certain age, and things just won't come out of the mouth like they used to. So I'm going to start now. Look how you start adding it up and building it up. And of course, I've got my lovely little spiders. I actually might use, I'm going to use this one. Let's pop a couple of little spiders on. Love the idea of putting on acetate though, Craig.
Great idea, that,
it's a great idea, isn't it? But again, it's just adding that little bit of extra. Oh, I've just dropped one. Where did that go? Oh,
well, you're never going to find it now.
Never going to find that one now, Craig. So I'm just going to pop a little one on there. And I think I might have one just down here as well. So let's just pop on.
But yeah, even, you know, I know you weren't meaning the penny sliders earlier on, but imagine using some of these as in the penny slider concept.
Yeah.
Bring those dies in, penny slider, either the character or the little spiders or the pumpkin. You could do that.
Absolutely. Now that's just been by adding the characters on there, and again, let me just lift that up. I know it's still a little bit wet, but a great little gift box to give to someone.
Cool.
And whether it be like maybe the grandkids, I'll probably fill that with sweets and things like that for the grandkids. But using certain elements from that collection, from the papers to the stencils to the stamps. And the other thing that I didn't use on there was the embossing folder. But again, that's the kind of thing that you can be creating and making using this fabulous collection.
Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. You guys are going to find it so hard to vote for demo of the show. So while Debbie gets them lined up, just a little reminder, or if you don't already know, demo of the day will be done in Craft Along, because there's no demo later on when it comes to the warehouse. So if you do want to take part in demo of the day, do make sure, of course, that you come back and watch in Craft Along. Hopefully you'll be watching anyway, and hopefully crafting along if you can. But yeah, demo of the day will be done in Craft Along. Right, we need to have demo of the show first. What have you done so far, Debbie?
We'll start with number one. I'm standing out of there because my background, I'm forgetting my dress is the similar colours to the card. So I'm going to stand there so you can actually see. Number one was with our Halloween collection. So that's number one. Number two, I'm glad I'm not choosing. Number two is from our Angel collection. So that's number two. And then lastly, number three, finishing off with that lovely Halloween collection again. So that's number three. So it's a tough one. I'm glad I'm not having to choose, but I'll just recap that so again you can see we have got number one, number two, and number three. Which one? You decide.
There you go. We've got Miriam on YouTube saying, I've already placed my warehouse order. Good for you. Terry Thomas saying, I have said many times that I am horrible with stencils. However, big capitals, I got the Spectrum Noir masket tape and it has been a game changer. Much like the stamping platform with stamping, simple, but now my stenciling is way better. Thank you for letting us know that, Terry Tom. Melanie saying, thank you, Debbie, for these beautiful demos today, especially the Halloween kit. Gave me so many fresh ideas. Gilmore is saying, that cat is so cute. Love the colouring. And Adriana is saying, US warehouse order placed. Oh boy, I need to see what's in the mystery bag, so there may be another later. Johnny's just said they're amazing. I genuinely don't know what's in them. Do you, Debbie?
Absolutely no idea.
Johnny does, so he's just said they're amazing. And if you know Johnny, like we know Johnny, doesn't say it unless it's true. Right, let's have a look at our ink pads. These are our water reactive ink pads, 6 in this set, where you're going to get jet black that Debbie was using. You're also going to get honey pot. You're also going to get Bordeaux. You are also going to get Chinese red, also going to get Friar brown, which eventually I can actually say that nowadays, and you're also getting pine tree. All 6 of these ones here, these are perfect for your blending, you know, any of your full bleaching effect, or just using them to lay down the colour. £30.50, $45.50. On that today's price, you're saving 15%. Another one, as I say, it's one of those products that we don't have to discount because we sell no problem at all on a daily basis, but that's not what we are about. Nice set for Halloween. $24.40. If you are platinum, of course, US of A, you're $36.40 platinum price. So that was the ink pads. So from that collection of ink pads working for the Craft Along, will work well with the Craft Along. Debbie, what will you be doing?
So we're going to be doing, so for those who missed the start of the show, this is the Craft Along project that we're going to be doing today. So it's a bay window style card, so you know, they're very on trend at the moment, these kind of style cards, where you've got that lovely, as though you're looking out on a bay window front. Very easy to do as well, let me tell you. But this is the card that we're going to craft along to, step by step, stage by stage, have a lot of fun, and get creating using elements from the Halloween box. So this is from the actual Halloween box. But again, if you haven't got the Halloween box and you went for the kits, absolutely you're going to be able to recreate this as well, because all of those elements are in there, bar the broomstick, but you've seen how we can get around that by that use of the stencil. But everything on there, Craig, I absolutely love this box. And this was probably one of the easiest craft alongs that I've ever decided to do, but looks super effective.
Yes, it does.
And it really is going to be one of those step-by-steps, literally real-time crafting.
Yeah.
Award-winning show using that fabulous collection. And if you haven't got this collection, like Craig said earlier, you could perhaps use elements from other collections and use that style, but you can get hold of it because it's still available in the kits. And that paper pad, let me just tell you, Paper pads you want to last forever. The elements in there, the kits, are real things that will last you forever because they're the hardware.
That's
the
right,
hardware of the things. The consumable is the paper. So get hold of that paper pad, especially while it's on the individuals, at that fabulous price. $3.99 if you're in Club Platinum or brand new today.
Crazy, isn't it?
Crazy price. And stock up because it won't be around forever. It really won't.
No,
we know with all our paper pads, won't be around forever. This was actually stock that we took from
somewhere else.
that should have gone out to trade. Say it quietly. Should have gone out but didn't because we recalled it back because of all the love that you gave this collection. So it's going to be a great show. Do join us. I'm off to go and get a spud. I've heard my belly rumble.
Oh, mine's is going as well.
It's going tense. It does, and I can hear it rumbling and churning
away.
We've got
a result.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a result.
Have
And
we?
demo of the show. The results are in. They've been counted and verified. I can now reveal that demo of the show is not an angel card.
Oh, it's between the Halloweens. Oh, this is a tough one.
Number 3.
Oh, there you go. You see? Sometimes, I know George were like, oh, he thought he'd nailed it, didn't he, George?
I thought it. Yeah. I thought, sure thing.
So thank you very much. I'll take that one, thank you. But
thank you.
Any one of them's going to... So I think it's going to be an Halloween special today.
I think so.
Because there's only me on the 2 shows, Halloween 1 and Halloween 2, which is the craft along. So it's going to be an Halloween special.
It really, really is. Debbie, thank you so much. We don't get to work together as much, but absolutely love you. If you're watching live, Debbie is back in an hour with Ben. Thank you to Taylor and Ashley for the comments. Thank you to you guys for watching. I'm going to be back for the last hour of the day tomorrow for you guys at stateside. It is going to be part of the warehouse clearance and it's all about the foil press. I know here in the UK you're going to be like, oh, what? That's because the stock that we've got for the USA, you've already bought it and sold it out. There's none left here. This is just going to be for the US of A. Here in the UK you could still watch and get ideas, but I will be back with Ben for that last hour of the day tomorrow. Once again, thank you so much. Really, really enjoyed this show. Ben's going to be up taking over for the remaining of the day. Check out the warehouse when it comes to the end of the summer sale, up to 70% off. For you guys stateside, always check out your section for the warehouse clearance as well. Check out the items with the orange dot. If you spend $50, if you spend $50 or more, you're going to get free shipping, of course. Have a lovely rest of the day watching Debbie and Ben and Sarah, and I will see you again tomorrow for the last hour of the day on Crafters TV. See you then.